Hey guys, how's it going? The HaggardNerd here, getting back in some Factorio. We left off last episode. We started making this kind of ridiculousness for some trains. And the idea is that what I want to have is basically some, I guess, train queue areas, so that way they can line up. And we don't have all the crazy the clustering of trains and blocking of trains and everything, so that way we don't have any sort of traffic jams, I guess. I think that's what I'm going for. So the idea is to make a bunch of long lines here, and then each one of these lines will eventually go out to its own smeltery area, and then we'll drop off the materials there. We're going to leave the top line open in case a train needs to come through and just do its own thing. Or maybe we'll leave the bottom line. I think that would make more sense. So that way if there's anything stuck in between... yeah, let's do the top line open and then have everything come down. Now I know some of you guys are probably freaking out wondering, you know, why I'm doing it like this, because if you put something here and you try to line it up, it's not going to work that way, and that's not what I'm planning. What I'm actually planning on doing is running all these lines all the way down. So eventually I'll get all this cleared out and it'll be wonderful. And this is basically just going to be the top of my loop, because I'm making, I'm making a large loop down here, so that way there can always be clockwise flow of trains coming in and out. And so let's kind of arbitrarily put something here. Let's go ahead and use our bots. Line that up like that and like that. Okay, so off camera our shuttle train technology has completed, so let's go ahead and see if there's anything else train related. So these specialized locomotives, which we may or may not use depending on how it goes. So let's get rid of those. Not get rid of, but get through those. Okay, and then just to kind of demonstrate the idea and how this is going to work. Put that there. Let's go ahead and use our bots to link that in like that. And then we do. I really wish it's funny because the 3 always is the 1 and then the 2 is the 3. I wish they would kind of fix that, but you know, it's always been like that, and I'm sure if they changed it now it would be very bad for people who are familiar with the game. Okay, so now we have proper signaling here, and then the idea is that this will go all the way down. You know, I'll worry about that once we're at that point. But yeah, our top line is going to be our through line, so if for some reason a train needs to come through and then exit again, that can happen without any sort of blocking or, you know, traffic jam. Temporarily though, I am going to do some funky stuff here. You guys are gonna freak out. Oh man. Okay, so let's see here. Can I? How would we do that? I know you guys are probably yelling at me right now. Why are you doing that? Well, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to save all the line right now, and mainly it's because my bots have some limited power. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my production for iron first on this line, and then once I can get my iron set up, then that'll lay out the blueprint basically to make all my other ones. And then by about that time I'm hoping I will have better bots with better power and stuff, and then I'll be able to remove this and then run all these lines down, and then we'll have all kinds of production and it'll be good. I have grand plans for this area, and it's kind of hard to see that just yet. Okay, so we have space. All of our stuff is going to go down all the way through here, maybe actually up. I'll probably have this kind of go up and then that kind of below. Yeah, I think that'll work. That will make sense, I hope. Hope. Okay. Very, very heavy tree density here. Just not going to be good for our little bots. So I'm trying to think. Right now, the biggest holdback to making larger... oh goodness, the major holdback is bots. So what I need to do is, once this is done, start looking at what is needed to get bots, because I really want bots, if you haven't figured that out already. Okay, so it has something to do with engines. I know something with flight too, I think. Where are we at? That's all tank stuff, which is going to be handy later. All right, where's flight down here? There's flight. What is required for flight? Oil processing. That's the big thing we need to worry about. Okay, so oil processing. We need to plan out a big area for that as well. And really, our big loop could hold our oil processing. So that would be a good use of that space. Yes. Now the thing is, I need to make sure that I leave enough room up here if I want to run additional lines across. So let's... Oh man, this is going to be messy. I really don't want to have to do all this by hand. I may end up having to cut and come back once I've cleared out all these trees. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and clear out all these trees to go ahead and start making way for oil processing. And then once I'm done clearing out this area, I'll come back and kind of show you what's going on. And I'll also have this lit up better. So yeah, yeah, I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. All right, so we are back at our crazy monstrosity of a train depot, like holding area, I guess. So the plan is, it took me a little bit to kind of think through and figure out something, but I realized that this area was already kind of clear.
Unit lost.
And it looks like our guys are going to town. Oh wow, they're way down there. But yeah, we have no biters. Hopefully this is not too overpowered. We'll find out eventually. This may be a completely non-violent episode or series, but we will find out. I would assume that later on they will crank up the heat and expansion will get ridiculous.
Lost.
Oh man, they're going to town. Okay, so anyway, so for the... Let's still turn that down. Still turn that down. Sounds, alerts. Actually, what I could do is turn everything up, but I will do that off camera at another time. Okay, so the idea here for oil, just preliminarily, is that a word? As a preliminary build, what I'm going to do is still use this, what we were going to plan for our iron, and run another line off of that. And the plan is, once we have enough...
Unit lost.
Oh, goodness. Once we have enough traffic coming through this, what I will do is I'll break this off and make the train paths separate, and to where, you know, everything can come through here and stuff won't get backed up, and you'll see. You'll just have to hang out. So now the idea is to run my oil down through here, my iron through here, and I found that there was some water down here, so I know some of the later oil processing things need water, so we can run a couple pumps out of here, and it will be wonderful. So let's go ahead and get rid of these trees. And oh yeah, off camera also, we started researching electric energy distribution, which gives us the larger poles, which I kind of needed. And then let's see here, radar tracking. This is a nice little mod. It basically applies radars to trains, and you can kind of track and see where they are. So we will eventually need that. Okay, so the idea is to have trains run down here and drop off their oil. And I really don't want to hold a lot of oil, maybe 2 tanks worth, but we don't have that researched yet, so I am getting ahead of myself, it seems. How are we doing on stops? We will need a stop down here. And I think I'm going to put that stop a little bit further down. Now this line is going to be separate from the main loop. The main loop's going to go on the outside of everything up here. This is just going to be the smaller internal oil supply loop. So let's go ahead and run that down. And then more than likely I'm going to have trains running clockwise. So that means I will put, I think it goes on the right. yeah, the arrows say to the right. So that's what's going to happen. Okay, and we're going to call this oil drop off 1. Yep, okay, and that will be that whenever that time comes. How are we doing on, did they give us some? They did give us some to start. Now that I'm thinking about it, I will also need a refuel
Unit
station.
lost.
Okay, so they got my first squad. The biters took out, so there must be something pretty heavy duty down here. But thankfully we have, it looks like, another batch of guys going out. And it's working as intended. It seems we are not getting our full 60. Well, we are now, but if the frame rate drops too much lower, I will, or if we start noticing huge spikes in our frame rate, I will drop the hunt radius down a bit. Kind of like that. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to avoid. All right, let's go turn our hunt radius down and actually probably bump down our squad size to like 50. Let's half both of them, because I don't want to have to deal with this, and I know you guys don't want to see this jerking like this. Okay, let's grab more research. Oil processing. Yes. So let's do, nope, this one. Let's go 50. And let's do 2500. And then we will need to adjust these. So 50, so let's do 55. Set. And that way our squads will be half the size and they will be hunting for half the space. So that should fix our frame rate issues once that other squad gets wiped out. So we'll have a little bit of jerkiness here for the next little while, but it should be fine. That's one of the drawbacks to Robot Army. It takes a little bit of processing power to do. Okay, so where were we? Oh yeah, so we're working on oil processing, which means we're going to be dropping off some oil in kind of this area-ish, I think. I probably want to go to the left so that way if I need more lines, I can do this and I won't be blocking the additional lines that may come down through here. So we will have a few pickup barrels here. Barrels, tanks. Tanks is the word I'm looking for. I am terrible when it comes to nouns sometimes. One of the things that I was thinking about also is that normally I use rail tanker, but one of my recent previous saves, I started using the actual assembly machine barrel supply thing, and I was able to get some pretty decent throughput with that, especially with the having multiple trains coming through and dropping stuff off. So I think I'm going to do that, even though the tanker rail tanker option is something that I have. I think I'm going to use barrels because it was kind of fun. So I guess we could probably go ahead and put 2 there. And I think I'm going to limit right now just for 2. And then I'll need to have a bunch of barrels. I'll need to figure out a way to run barrels down here. And that will be decisions for a later time. Also, I didn't mention this earlier. I really probably should have. I do plan on using all the space for oil production. Maybe at least part of the space. But for right now, really what I need to do is just get the absolute bare minimum set up. So that way I can get some robots technology going, and I can improve our existing robots, and I can start looking at getting better batteries and see what it's going to take to get a fusion reactor started. So that way I can start having power for my bots, and you guys can hear me, or you guys can not have to hear me complain about my power as much anymore. So once I get there, and once we get to the point where we have some bots and we can start doing bigger builds and stuff like that, what I can do is expand on whatever I've built in this area and really ramp up my oil production. So that's where we are on that. We're just kind of waiting on our research to finish here. And we should also focus on getting our iron situated. The other thing is I also need to close my loop and start thinking about that, my rail loop. So we determined earlier that this is going to be the through loop, so if it needs to make a loop for any reason and needs to come back around, we can use this for that. Okay, we got our oil processing. Let's go ahead and get our bigger tanks. Fluid handling. Yes, that's what I need. Okay.
Unit lost.
Let's make a couple pump jacks by hand. We need some steel. Where are our guys? They are way over there. Okay. Alright, I'm going to run up, grab some steel, and make a few more pump jacks. And start identifying places on the map where we have some oil. I know we have some down at the corner. Here's where I'm talking about. There's a lot of oil down there. I know there was a couple of bits of oil up here. So I want to go ahead and get those marked, which reminds me, we did research YARM earlier and I haven't done anything with it. Where is that? I thought we researched YARM. There it is. It was right in front of me. Right in front of me. Alright, we should probably go ahead and fill up on circuits. So we have plenty of circuits now. We should probably pick up some stone and make more rails. And actually, I should probably figure out a way to set up some very basic rail production. Now let's grab some bricks, because those are handy. And it looks like we are now empty on that. So let's take a moment. Just put down a few extra drills. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just a line of stuff that's not eating in, or not picking up copper, or excuse me, not copper, iron. Actually, I could have turned that around and made it just one line coming out instead of two that I have to put together. Okay. No, that's going to pick up iron. We're not going to do that. I like things organized and even, but I think just for the sake of production, we're not going to worry about lining it up perfectly. We're going to put it there. As much as I would prefer to have it line up, we're kind of working with limited space there. Now we've increased our stone production, and we'll have much more bricks if needed. Okay, so we have fluid handling done. Here's our rail tankers. You know, I'm going to go ahead and research that in case we do need it later on, and just kind of get it out of the way. Okay. So how's everything doing up here? We are plenty good on our iron production. I have a decent number of piercing rounds on me. Red and green are doing well. We could probably research lab speed soon. How are we doing on transport belts? We probably could pick up maybe a couple. And then iron gears, we could probably pick up a couple plates. Same thing. Let's go ahead and grab those, and then grab those. And now we're doing pretty good on there. And what is this? Inserters. We have a decent number of inserters, but it wouldn't hurt to have more. Okay, so we are restocked. We're good. We're getting to the point now where maybe we should start looking at researching that first inventory size increase. We're not there yet, but we're working on it. And then what I'm doing now is I realized that I had a red science on my person, so I'm going to just drop that off. What else do I have? I have some copper ore I should have probably not kept. I should have dropped that off when I had the chance earlier, but didn't think about it. Okay, anything else? No, we got stone. Pump jacks. We probably need a few more pump jacks. And we probably need some more steel. I didn't think about that. Yes, that is the case. So rail tanker is done. Oh goodness, what is that? Oh, that's the larger tanks from 5dim, which is, those things hold so much. It's wonderful. Let's see, what is this? This is steam engine electric generators 1. Steam engine Mark 2. I think we're good with our big ones from the other mod, so we're not going to worry about that too much. Advanced oil processing requires blue. We'll eventually need that, and that. Let's see, our research, what is that? More efficient pump jacks, yeah. Water pump jacks still don't need. Oil processing 2 will give us higher levels of oil refineries. Not hugely necessary at this point. I was talking about lab research, so let's go ahead and get that done. Because we're starting to get backed up here, and we don't necessarily want to do that. We want to try to get through as much as possible, as quickly as possible, because then we'll have more stuff to work with. All right, it looks like we probably had a squad go out recently, I think. Yeah, they're right there. Either that or it's the same squad as earlier, but they're just kind of hanging out. Yeah, that might be them. And let's let our bots do their job and take care of these guys. Okay. Now this is going to be a problem with the trains coming through. And those guns are loud, but it's going to be a problem with trains coming through and my robots being right here. So once I start getting trains actively on this line, on these tracks, I will probably move this and put it at a more robot-friendly location. Less robot death with trains location. Okay, so let them do their thing. Did I not pick up steel like I said I was going to when I was way up there and already talking about it? Good job. I get distracted easy, if you guys haven't noticed. Oh yeah, I got distracted with the stone. That's kind of what happened. That's exactly what happened. So let's go ahead and just... What? Oh, those are going directly in there, and this is what I'm looking for up here, so... Okay, that makes more sense. Alright, so we should probably pick up, or make a couple more of these pump jacks, and then what we should do is, I want to put my resource monitor down here, lock that into place, and then go up. I want to start locating, well, actually I should go ahead and start monitoring my resources that I'm currently using. There's that. There's that. Oh, that goes down further than I thought. Let's see here, what else are we using? We're using copper and coal. Coal's right here, I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. YARM is so handy, you can see up here the display. It tells you what's going on, how much you have left, how long it's approximately taking, or how long it will be until depletion, and also how many units per minute it is consuming, or being depleted by, I guess. And also you can use these little eyeball things and it says, hey, oh good lord, that was loud. I'll have to remember that. That was pretty rough. My bad. Sorry guys. I hope your ears are okay. So yeah, it tells you what's going on, and then I usually go ahead and minimize it, and so that way once any of those start getting low, it'll flash up and tell you, and it'll change color to like orange or yellow or something. So right now it's not a problem. I do remember there was some oil up here I want to start tracking, and I want to start getting loaded up onto some trains, and then we can start working on processing it. Let's check our map. So 1, 2, 3 in the immediate area that I can see, unless something's covered up. I do believe we have 3. Okay, what do we have? So research again. Actually, let's check. Yeah, I think maybe one more level of that. So we'll have 2 levels of lab research speed. And let's go ahead and mark our oil. So there was one there, one down there, and one over to the side. Let's go ahead and locate those. So there's that one, and then there's one apparently over here that I didn't see. The reason why I'm trying to do this is because if you mark certain things with YARM, like within a certain time frame, as long as they're the same item, they'll be counted as one item. And I usually like to count one patch, or a bunch of different little patches in one area as one item. So that one, and that one. Oops, whoop, 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 get it. There we go. I think you have like 20 or so seconds before it clicks in, but that way everything will be counted as one, and we won't have 3 separate little ones in our display. All right, so we have pump jacks, right? All right, we've made a few. We have done that. That is a thing that has happened. Let's put one there. One there. And then now is the time I spoke about a long time ago, where we're gonna have to kind of just move this. It's so terrible, we have to move this now. So much work. Oh my gosh. And for those of you who don't get sarcasm, that was sarcasm. I'm not trying to insult anybody. I'm just trying to be silly. I mean, who doesn't get sarcasm, right? There's probably one person out there looking at the computer and like, what is he talking about? I don't get it. It's a thing that happens, you know? Okay, so let's go ahead and get, since we're not quite there, I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 per. So now we have 4 storage tanks. Actually, are we to a point where we can make the larger ones? I don't think so. No. I would like to have the larger ones down, but that is not going to be the case. So we will make do with what we can. I generally don't like to do this. I don't like to have too much collection going at my my pumps. I like to have it fed directly into the trains, but right now we're not quite ready to pick this up yet, but I do want to go ahead and get them ready and get as much extracted as possible. How are we doing? You guys are... Where are you at? Where's the white box? Oh, you guys are down there again. Okay. So we do have some sort of heavy-duty base down here that was killing that one squad before. Good thing we don't have to deal with it now, huh? Alright, let's put that there. Let's put that there. And then I think I researched that earlier where I could have the larger, yep, okay. Let's go ahead and make a good number of those. Just kind of click through. Alright. And then we want to also put that there. Kind of wasteful, I know. Now we have those being pumped and filled. And then we would probably want a light. Like right here. There we go. So now all this will be illuminated. That'll be illuminated with, you know, that light. So, okay, so the next thing that we'll need to figure out is how we're going to run a train up here to grab this. But that is going to have to wait for another time because, oh my god, I realize now this episode is going probably the longest episode so far. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and call the episode here and jump back into the next episode and see what else we can do. Really good planning, huh? Alright guys, hope you're enjoying this. I know I am. As always, thanks for watching. Take care.